Well, we have been Husker ticket holders for 8, 9 years. My husband is a devout Husker fan. We have 2 tickets, so it's mom or dad going with one of the kids. And that day, it was Labor Day weekend, right? And so I think we chose Taylor to go to that because he didn't have a flag football game. They left about 8:30. I expected them to be there about 9:30. I texted him and told him to let me know when he got there. I didn't hear back. I waited and I called him. It went straight to his voicemail. I started to realize something was wrong. He never shuts his phone off. He's a very consistent person. I knew he would have texted me when he got there. And so kickoff was at 11. At that time, I realized like something's wrong. He would have already been there. He would have sent a text message with my son in the stadium with the field in the background, and that never came through. I texted some friends who were in the stadium. They said, yeah, he's not in his seats. At that point, some friend messaged me a scene of the accident, and I thought, their thought was he might just be delayed in the traffic. But I knew at that point, like, it wasn't good. And my first thought was, God, anything but this. Like, I know you think that I'm strong, but I'm not strong enough for this. About 2:30 that day is when the state troopers came and delivered the news that they were killed in the accident. It was through conversation with my oldest son that he was asking questions like, well, what are we going to do? Like, how are we going to have food? What are we going to, how are we going to do these things? And I knew then it kind of clicked for me, and I felt like God reminded me, like, Jamie, you said you're not strong enough, but I'm going to give you that strength and I will help you. And I told him, like, we will figure it out, Caden. Like, we're a family of 3 now. We'll have food. Like, God's going to provide for us. I know that we're going to be okay. And he clicked in that moment too, like, okay, we've got this. We know that in all things, and that's what Romans 8:28 says, all things, not just some things, not a few things, that in all things that God works together for good. And so I feel like, this situation, you could look at it like it's horrible, it's a tragedy. It is, but I know that we have to look for the good in it, and I do believe that God allowed this bad thing to happen to us because there was good that was going to come out of it, and I'm still seeing the good that's come out of it. Being able to understand that God allows these things to happen to us, but he has a purpose and he has a plan, and ultimately we're just here passing through. He's promised us eternal life that's far better than this, and I believe that's why I have that hope and resurrection life and why I care so much about being on mission, because I understand there's more to it than this. So I have been thinking about what should we do, a year out from the first year anniversary, I guess, of the accident, of losing Mark and Taylor. And I had been talking with Mark before his death about us getting baptized. Mark was baptized in a Catholic church. I was also baptized in a Methodist church, but neither of us have done the dunking method, and none of our kids had. And so we had always been talking about that. And so I just thought, what a better way to, continue the good that God's brought out of this situation than for me and my boys to get baptized that day. I just think that, it sends a message to us and to other people that, like, we're still standing strong in our faith and we still trust God, and we know that, he's here with us and that he has a plan for us. And I think that was just a date that we could look back and say, like, this isn't the date of something terrible happening. This isn't the end. Death is not the end. That's what Christ has told us, right? That death is not the end, that he has better things for us. And so I think that was a way for us to make that recommitment, to have that date, and then be able to continue to move forward in the way that we have.